Hi friends, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I thought we'd talk a little bit today about a simple little precept and idea that you probably already know, but is always worth a little re-investigating. We have a saying that I learned from my Non-Classical Gung-Fu teacher, and his succinct phrasing of it was "stay over your stuff." I don't know where he got it. I don't know if he made it up or he got it from somewhere else. Maybe Jesse came up with it, I don't know. But stay over your stuff means you, like your head and your kind of sense of yourself here, over your stuff, your center and your legs. Stay over them. Don't reach out over them this way. Unless it's an emergency and you're doing something quick, but then you might think about getting your legs and your center underneath you. Stay over your stuff. It's so important. It was recently brought home to me by watching a fail video. I love to watch fail videos, especially I like Fail Army the best, even though they're not what they used to be. They're just a major YouTube channel, Fail Army, and a lot of people send stuff to them. And I call them lessons in physics. I like watching them, not because I like seeing people in pain, although every once in a while it's funny, but it's the lessons in physics. It's watching people with too much weight and too little arm strength try to do a rope swing, and they can't make it to the water. But mostly watching people trip. Like watching people trip on things or over things is very educational. Now that YouTube has, it's been there for a while, but didn't used to, a slow motion. You can go to the little gearbox under the YouTube video, click on that and go to tape speed or video speed or whatever, and go to the slow speed. I forget what the slow speed is, but it's pretty slow, and like a quarter speed, and watch somebody trip or watch somebody slip and fall, and just, emotions aside, just look at the physics of it. And so often you see people walking and they're out ahead of themselves. They're in this position when they hit the obstacle, and then it's faceplant time, or as Ozzy Man says, destination fucked. That's where you end up, because your body weight, you're putting it in the future, hoping that when you get there, then you'll be over your stuff. And of course, we all do this to some degree. Most of us do it to some degree when we're going upstairs. We just angle forward just slightly, and you're going up the stairs. The stairs are here, and you're kind of going up at an angle like that. Generally speaking, a little bit of that is okay. You're within your margin of recovery. But a lot of that, if you're really going up the stairs with a steep angle and your toe slips off of the step, then you're likely to face plant onto a step or chest plant onto the steps ahead of you. If you're walking on especially a slippery surface, slippery stairs, and you're ahead of yourself and something gives way in your footing or on the ground or whatever, oh man, the wipeouts people do, sometimes seriously. Sometimes serious injuries, broken wrists, broken shoulders, broken hips. Usually not on Fail Army. On Fail Army, usually the injuries are minimal. And if it looks horrible, they'll often put a little subtitle, "No one was hurt." They're not trying to show people getting seriously racked up. But just the everyday physics of watching people fall, really recommend, if you're a student of balance like me, that you spend some time watching some of these videos and be ready to slow it down and analyze it a little bit. Watch that moment when they were overcommitted, too far out over the front. By the way, a great way to walk upstairs that I learned from a dancer friend of mine 40 years ago was, if you have the time, is put your lead foot on the step, flat on the step, and then straighten your leg. And then put your lead foot flat on the step and then straighten your leg. So you're pushing straight up with your legs, straight up, and your body's going like this up the stairs. Great thigh and back of the leg work. The extension at the top, I think it does work. It probably works your thighs most of all, but I think you get a little bit of back extension. But anyway, doing stairs that way is great for two reasons. One is it's leg training, and it gets you, some work that you don't get when you just kind of go up on your toes. And two, it's also really good for your brain, your neuromusculature, to really understand exactly where those stairs are and map that out, especially if it's stairs you go up regularly. We just moved to this place recently, and there's a stairwell that we need to get up here on the second floor, and I have to walk up and down these stairs every day, which is not a problem for me right now. But I'm 64, and I'm likely going to spend the rest of my life in this house, and so I'm getting used to those stairs. One of my students, Betty Leduc, she's a well-known artist. She has stairs that she has to go up and down every time to get in and out of her place, and she's pushing 90. And she's not just pushing 90, she's pushing 90 with a pitchfork, man. She is in great health. And so I'm inspired, like, okay, I want to, but I've been studying my stair walking after I watched a couple of nasty stair falls on Fail Army the other day. And so I do both. Sometimes I'm on my toes and I kind of bound up to it at a time, and I do it very cautiously and consciously. I'm not zooming up there without paying attention. I can't afford to go up and down stairs absent-mindedly. I just can't afford it, and I don't want to. So by, I go up bounding every once in a while, consciously aware of those steps, not absent-mindedly. And then sometimes I do the slow, where I put the foot down and do that slow one. And I feel like not only am I strengthening my legs, but I'm strengthening my body-mind map awareness of exactly where those steps are. Because when I go up fast, I'm just touching base with where the actual steps are. When I go up slow like this, it's really going into my system, and it's just in my mind where those steps are. So we've lived here for over a year now, and I have yet to even come close to slipping on those stairs, wet, dry, whatever. So I'm hoping that that will continue for the rest of my life. So those are just a couple of ways to go upstairs, and one way that has a couple benefits. Good for your neuromusculature, also good for patience and just calming the hell down and doing one thing at a time, and it's good for your leg strength. But above all, stay over your stuff. Martially, that means if my target is over there, instead of going out of over myself like that to get to it, bring my, right? If I get knocked, get underneath myself. So if you get out over your feet, you either have to go back to where you're over your stuff or get your stuff underneath you, right? If you get knocked back behind your feet, you either have to get back to where you're over your stuff or get your feet under you. Keep your feet underneath you. Look at good fighters. They're, every once in a while they'll take a chance and go way out there, but generally not. My teacher Andy taught me that there is a circle of strength. Andy Dale, Seattle area. He told me, well, actually he's further north now, but I forget the exact town he lives in. You're out of luck. Okay, so there's a circle of strength here, right? And as you go further and further away to the perimeter of your circle of strength, you're suddenly very weak. Imagine holding a bucket full of sand right here versus here, versus here, versus here, versus here, versus here. It gets harder and harder, right? So he would say your circle of strength can also be seen like a workbench, right? You either bring the work or entice the work over to the bench, or you bring the bench to the work, but you don't reach off the bench to get the work. That's where the injuries come in. In an emergency, sure, you might do it. But as a strategy and as a way of life, don't do it. Don't get used to being out there. I see it all the time, especially with overweight people. They're so often, walking forward, like they're just ready to fall. They have a kind of controlled fall. And they would be much better to stay over their stuff and walk slower and stay over it. Much more likely to not fall. So do what you can to stay over your stuff. Don't fall. Don't hurt yourself. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay training. And take care, and good luck with it, with that training. We hope to see you again soon when all this craziness is over. I appreciate you watching. I always love comments, especially if you can let me know if any of this has been helpful to you. That's always appreciated. I put these videos out to be helpful. I have a tip jar in the description of my YouTube videos, and I have tip jars all over my website, geneburnett.com, but that's just to leave the option open. The main thing is I would like to be useful. So if I am useful, let me know. And also just if you have any comments of your own on any of these topics, it's always nice to hear what people are thinking. So take good care. Want to see you on the other side, and until next time.